I need to not live out my entire life in the tiny town where I was born. I needed to see things and be things.
Not too long ago, I watched the Little Women series starring Maya Hawke. I have
Wait,
never
wait.
had such an extreme emotional experience while watching any type of media as I had watching Little Women. I related so deeply with the main character Josephine and her journey into maturity. The characters gain wisdom through experience, and it makes the story feel so grounded and bittersweet at the same time. The way the characters went through the trials and tribulations of life reminded me of my own life. It made me appreciate the fragility of life and its fleeting nature. As for man, his days are like grass. As a flower of the field, so he flourishes. For the wind passes over it and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more.
Can we go back to being happy like we were before?
Not quite. We were children before, and we aren't any longer.
The movie made me cry at the moments of sadness, but also made me cry because of the abounding hope the movie portrays. The writing really showed the cycle of sadness and joy. After watching the movie, I thought to myself, how can I form a deep emotional connection between my characters and the audience in the same way that Little Women did? I started recalling the movie and the story beats that created that connection in order to replicate it in my own stories. But then I realized this is not inspiration, this is just copying. I reflected on the movie as a whole and realized the message was to experience growth from being present in life. The biggest growth is found internally, not out in the world. Then from here, I realized that incorporating inspiration isn't copying the inspiration, but finding the meaning and defining the impact felt from that inspiration and living out that message. And once I lived it out, funnel my experiences into my art and create something true to me and my life. Define the inspiration and live out that definition. This realization made me see my interests in a different light, and it really created that boundary between inspiration and application that I mentioned in my previous video. Just because I like something doesn't mean that I have to find a way to incorporate that thing into my own work in order for me to feel justified in my art. After watching Little Women, I recognized the value of my own experiences and the story of my own life and really growing from it. I realized that the art I was most attached to was the art that came from my innermost self. For example, my original character Noah Aldrich came from the desire to create a comfort character. I simply wanted to make a guy that I could draw outside the need of developing a crazy world. He was just a normal guy, but also a superhero. And it was through that character that I learned so much about storytelling and growing confidence in my own preferences and conviction. And while working on Noah and exploring his story more, I realized how much of my own experiences were poured into Noah subconsciously. Writing his character and forming his narrative became a vessel of observing my own life. What I mean by this is creating from my own experiences means learning and reflecting from those experiences and defining them. In pursuit of creating a boy's journey into manhood and a man into a superhero, I learned the true mark of character development. I think there is a fear that writers have when they write characters beyond development, that their characters will lack relatability because they've grown past their mistakes, which in turn, the writers deprive their characters of resolution and graduation in order to keep them still in the development process. Examples like normalizing hooking up, fornication, lack of romantic commitment, and creating a sense of moral ambiguity in order to keep characters in a quote-unquote compelling story. Completed character development does not mean becoming a flawless person. Mistakes will still be made and bad choices will create bad consequences, but true repentance is the fruit of true development. Learning from our mistakes and not conforming to them, and turning away from them in order to live beyond them. Characters with a complete character development are not defined by their current mistakes, though they may feel the consequences. Mistakes are an integral part within the completion of character development because they remind the character how far they've come while humbling them into recognizing their own shortcomings. Mistakes also give the character an opportunity to apply their development into practice. When character development is written realistically, it provides even more relatability because it shows the audience that the characters are still human. But even more so, it gives the audience hope because it shows us that we are not defined by our mistakes. Good character development not only brings relatability, but also hope. What separates a hero and a villain is whether they can learn from their mistakes in order to live beyond them. Wallowing in your mistakes robs you from the ability to turn and learn from them. Wallowing makes us conform and accept the mistake into our identity, which only creates more mistakes because it gives us the mentality that we cannot learn to change for the better. Characters can still be compelling while still having strong morality, and I think this is also why Spider-Man is such an amazing character that has captivated the hearts of so many people, because Spider-Man has such a strong moral identity that extends beyond his emotions, but also is amplified by his emotions in the sense of his love for humanity. Spider-Man is such a good superhero because he was a human first before he became a superhero. The most integral moments of his own journey came internally in the form of Ben's moral compass and Aunt May's maternal love and empathy. The cornerstones of his identity are built on the lessons he learned within his humanity, which are amplified and funneled through his adventures as Spider-Man.
Honesty. That's what got me and Ben through the rough patches.
You guys had rough patches?
Oh, sure. Especially when we were your age. So, are you honest with her? Does she know the real you?
Hey, turn it up. I want to hear this.
He embodies perseverance through hardship while prioritizing light and hope. While scrolling through YouTube Shorts, I stumbled across a short posted by one of my favorite content creators, Dish. It was a short about her thoughts while playing the game Outer Wilds. I always liked watching her videos because I really liked how she incorporated the wisdom she learned into her videos and how she doesn't just create for the sake of content, but she creates as a vessel to express her own journey of learning. I'm gonna paraphrase what she said in that short, but all in all, she said, "Even if this was the last day, no matter what you do, you still have a lot left to explore and see. Even if the end came and the credits rolled, there are still secrets to uncover. You still have a lot of things that you don't know. Even if there is no hope to get to tomorrow, if you have the chance to do everything today and see everything you should, how would you know there is no hope? So until you know for sure, do not give up." This quote really hit me in the sense that it really defined the concept of hope and changed my outlook on living out my life. It really pronounced hope being truly felt through the journey of life and its challenges.
Well, but what is grief? If not love, persevering.
It made me see a new day as an opportunity to explore and learn instead of continuing the pursuit of material progress. An aspect of my joy used to come from the mindset of having a whole world to live out, and I always had my eyes on the future and how my life would look when everything goes according to plan. Like Josephine March, I believed that adventure was out in the world and that I had to experience those adventures in order to create something meaningful. But after watching Little Women and learning all I learned up to this moment, I realized that my greatest adventure was the adventure of the present moment. Life is not external, it is internal. And from this, I truly learned that inspiration has the best impact and result when you live out your inspirations. Hope does not keep us ignorant or naive of the current moment. Hope allows us to experience the moment in the fullest, knowing that we will grow from it and knowing that all will come to its proper completion.